Everyone, my name is Naef Alkbas. I'm studying Hasanuddin University, Faculty of Engineering, Architecture Department. Today I'm going to talk about a role of law. So, at first, what's the meaning of law? The law is a set of foundations and rules that govern and organize society. A society cannot live successfully if its members are not subject to laws governing them and do what they like without taking into account their duties and rights. The law sets the rules that determine the rights and duties of individuals. It sets the penalty in the event of violation of these rules and foundations. And the penalty is applied by the government as the legal rules are constantly changed. This depends on the developments and changes that occur in society. In the language, the origin of word law goes back to the Greek words canon, which means straight stick, and it was used to denote integrity and order. The interlaw in the building of its philosophical idea is based on targeting three major goals, which are in order of importance: achieving the security of society and the stability of transaction on it, achieving justice, supporting progress, development, and creativity in society. Knowledge of the law is assumed in the right of all. As soon as it's published in the official gazette, which is available for viewing, and every person should have a sufficient amount of legal culture to realize his rights and duties. So, the law defines the basic standards that must be followed to mention public order through clear evidence of acceptable behavior as a minimum in society. For example, causing bodily injury to someone without justifications is considered a violation, a crime, and a blatant assault that is not tolerated by the law. The law is concerned with providing a system that complies with and community guidelines and ideals that change and are constantly renewed whenever the needs arise at stake. So now we are going to talk about judicial power. It's known as authority that implements the law when setting disputes between individuals and some of them, or between them and one of the bodies of public authority in the state. The judicial authority is considered the third authority of the state, and it's shared by the legislative authority and the executive authority. It's the branch of state responsible for official interpretation of laws and implemented by government. It's responsible for the judiciary and the courts in the states, and it's responsible for achieving justice. It's also responsible for the cause and the tradition of the judiciary in the country and the credibility of the laws it applies. So, now we have to know what is law enforcement against. In order to carry out the law properly, several laws enforcement institutions were formed, including number one, police. The police are ones who provide the security of the state, and their mission requires it principal protection of people and property through public aid, law enforcement, and crime control and prevention. Prosecutors. It's part of the judicial authority whose work involves in initiating a criminal case of behavior of community and disposing of it either by referring it to the court or by showing discussing to keep it. And number three, justice as a judicial institution or court. So, the main pillar of the rule of law. Number one, supremacy of law, a principle of government in which all persons, institutions, and entities, public and private, including the state itself, are accountable to laws that are publicly promulgated, applied equality to all. The government are governed by the independent judiciary and are consistent with international human rights norms and standards. Equality in law. It's a principle according to which all individuals are subject to the same laws of justice, all the equal before the law. Number three, legality principle. The principle of legality is among the basic principles in which the penal code is based in various regulations of the world, and it's considered one of the guarantees that achieved a fair trial. Thank you for listening to this presentation submitted by Naef Alkbas. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.